The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002, 442-7002.
Welcome to the K-Files this morning, brought to you by John Barnes Electric. 24/7, you can call him for any of your electrical needs. John Barnes has been in business so long that I don't think there's anything he can't do. So anyway, give him a call for all of your electric needs, and the ad will come up and you can get the number. And do you know the number?
John's number is 252-985-8146.
There it is, right there.
And the other number there is 252-442-7002. Or Uncle Craven Hunt. He was an electrician from Sharpsburg. Mm-hmm. And when he passed away, John was able to get his phone number.
Really?
That was Uncle Craven's Hunt Electric.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird how you get phone numbers. Our live line number, we wanted an easy number. 407-1111 is our number. Well, the post office gave that number up. It was one of their lines. You know, Herb said, "Oh, how easy, 407-1111 or 407-1111 or 407-41s." I mean, we just had the best time with that.
Did you get a lot of U.S. mail-related calls for a while?
We probably did. I think we did. Yeah, I think we were getting post office calls for quite a while.
See, like in a trade business, you know, where Uncle Craven probably had that business line for 30, 40, 50 years, mm-hmm. and it being associated with electrical business, John picked it up. I mean, I'm sure his phone, you keep a customer base, mm-hmm. you know. But I know Jerry got my dad's in the 1970s when Dad went out of business, and I'm sure he's reaped a benefit from that, and that's good. So I was wondering if you got a lot of
Yes, I think calls. We did. So let's talk a little bit about something we talk about every day now. And we're going to talk about it until it is solved. And that is the Pet Connection. We're going to start off with that.
Okay.
So is the Pet Connection open?
As of today, from what I've just heard from a county commissioner on the radio, the Pet Connection is still closed.
Okay.
And I think they're going through doing repairs, maintenance, cleaning, just kind of all hands on deck situation to get things compliant.
Wow. So is there an agency that is in there now that is investigating them or not?
Well, again, what I just heard on the radio is that the SBI was called in, and that the SBI is in an active investigation trying to determine what's going on at the Pet Connection, and if and should an employee or any volunteers be held accountable for any criminal activity.
You know, I guess it is being investigated, but I'm ready for this to come to a close. This is enough. Mistreatment of animals, and Lord only knows what else is going on down there, but this has been a big deal, and no heads have rolled. I just don't understand. It's all coming down to a management problem. I mean, it's not the building. I went to the ribbon cutting, and this lady that donated that building, Did you know that?
I didn't know that until about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
There's a lady called the Cat Lady.
Okay.
She's got a building out here. We did the ribbon cutting for the building at Wesleyan. She left a building because we have a lot of, she wanted the students to be able to have a cat if they wanted one in their dorm or roaming around the campus. She just wanted that environment. She loved cats. They called her the Cat Lady. And so she left a donation with Wesleyan so they could build. It's not like a Pet Connection, but it's a small building over here where they feed, water, bathe, and all that, the cats that are on the campus. Isn't that neat? Well, she went a step further. You don't like cats.
I don't.
Well,
But I'm glad
they're
somebody
the sweetest
does.
thing in the world. I don't want no
would never
dog.
be ugly to one, never. But yeah, cats on
My husband likes dogs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she also left the money for the Pet Connection. And she's turning over in her grave right now.
She is.
Oh my goodness. These animals are supposed to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
She loved cats, and it is because of her that we have this building.
Yeah. There's enough animal lovers in the world. Even right here in Nash County, there's enough people in Nash County that care and love pets that they shouldn't be having this issue. Number one,
No.
it's morally wrong, it's embarrassing, and as a taxpayer, it makes me angry that this is going on, and that we're even associated, that we have been allowing this type of behavior to go on.
Well,
It's just wrong.
it's not
And
a building problem. That is a
People
nice.
should be held accountable.
It is a nice building. It is, like I said, it was brand new. They were very proud. They renamed it. They didn't want it to be the Nash County Animal Shelter.
Pound or whatever,
That doesn't
yeah.
sound good. They said, let's have a really good name. So I think the students had a role in that. Some of the students at Nash are taken, I think they have like vet tech programs or something that so I think they let the students come up with a name, and they named it Pet Connection,
I
which
love that.
sounds really, really inviting and nice and good. And then here comes this manager that is just not, there's a manager, please understand, that is over. Okay, it starts at the top with the county manager. She's ultimately over this. And if she'd have left it in Bill Hill's hands, things would be different. I can promise you. But no, she took it out of his hands, and there's an overall manager of it. And then there's the manager of the facility. The overall manager has other responsibilities. He goes from this department to this. Might I say, toting a gun? Why? I'd like to know. I know he does something with security, but are you really supposed to have a gun in the Pet Connection? Are you supposed to? Well, I don't know. I have a problem with that. But anyway, it's a managerial problem, but the same managers are in place. They're still in place.
It all goes back to accountability, transparency, and holding people accountable.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the second time we have fouled up. First of all, with the social services, and now with animal control, severely in both departments, severely.
Well, you know, when Freddie was elected, there was a lot of deficiencies and issues with EMS. I mean, from a taxpayer standpoint, I'm seeing a lot of, when you really take a step back and you look at Nash County government as a whole, I think Nash County employs a lot of good people that are actively engaged in, delivering on behalf of Nash County citizens.
Oh, absolutely.
But there is a clear pattern
There is.
of, I don't know if you want to call it mismanagement a lack of leadership.
I think it's called oversight, too.
Yeah.
There's no oversight, evidently. If there's oversight of these departments, then why is this happening?
Well, I believe it goes back to there needs to be written policies.
Right.
And when people violate policies, and it goes back to my background in law enforcement, people violate policies, you hold them accountable. You either change people's attitudes or you change people. Mm-hmm. It's just that common. I mean, just do what you're supposed to do, or we're going to replace you with somebody who's going to do this. I see it as that simple of a fix.
Well, we hope the best for all the animals anyway. We really do. It was interesting. I had Brett Lubbock on yesterday from Sylvan Heights Bird Park. I love that place. It is phenomenal. Love to go there. Have you ever been? Mm-mm. Well, you need to take a trip to Scotland Neck. Anyway, it is their biggest attraction for travel and tourism in Halifax County. That's their biggest attraction. And he has, I forgot how many thousands of people, he said, visits every year that place. And he's got every bird from every continent imaginable. And he grew up, his father started the business years ago, and they just love birds. And so my point is, yesterday he brought a bird. We had fun. He talked. The bird just really talked to the viewers. He really did. He just squawked and squawked and squawked. And that's okay. And he did his thing too. But that's all right too. We cleaned it up. But we had fun with him. But one of the things I took away from it was, the interview was, he said, those animals are watered several times a day, fed. We treat those birds so well. We love our birds. And it's hot. He said, a lot of you probably wonder how the birds fare in 100-degree weather. They're fine. We make sure they have plenty of water, this and this. And so when the show was over, I said, you know what? You could teach a few lessons on how to treat animals to our Pet Connection. You need to go teach them a few lessons on how to treat animals. But anyway, with that being said, it's time to go to break. Hopefully we'll get some word from SBI. If they're in there, we would like to,
I'd
hurry up and get a report from.
Yeah,
I'm ready to hear the findings and all of that. So anyway, hopefully that will be soon and forthcoming. So we'll be right back.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002. 442-7002.
Welcome back to the K-Files this morning with myself and JP. I believe we have a hot now. We do hot nows to just, we like to keep you up to speed on local things that have happened, recent things, I might say. So we have a recent story this morning that JP's going to read.
Yeah, initially this was being reported as a subject that had been shot, and the more information we've learned, this is what we know as of an hour ago. Man delivering medical supplies shot with a BB gun in Rocky Mount. It says authorities are investigating after a man was shot with a BB gun while on the front porch in Rocky Mount. The incident occurred around 5:35 p.m. yesterday, the 100 block of Ashland Avenue. The victim, a 62-year-old man delivering medical supplies for his employer, was feeling chest pain while waiting on a residential porch. He was taken to a local hospital where medical staff confirmed the object lodged in his chest was indeed a BB. At the time, There is no further information about a suspect. The Rocky Mount Police Department's Criminal Investigative Division has responded and is pursuing leads. Authorities are urging anyone with any information about this incident to contact the Rocky Mount Police Department. Tips can be reported anonymously through Tip 411 by texting RMPD and your message to 847-411 or contacting Fighting Crime, 252-406-6736. And this is my thing. If you live in that area of the 100 block of Ashland Avenue, you've probably seen someone with a BB gun.
Yes.
Okay? Please report it, because odds are this person, this kid, this child, this young adult, this person, whoever it is, that's with this BB gun would be a prime suspect to start with.
Right.
This man was at work doing his job, making deliveries, and got shot.
That's unreal. That is just unreal. Just
And you might
doing
be
his
saving,
job.
and you might be saving this kid's life, because if he's out here playing with a BB gun, he's going to point it or aim it at the wrong person, and they're liable to shoot him.
That's exactly
over
right.
nothing.
Yeah.
So do the right thing for the public and for this young man or young woman who might be playing with BB guns. Report it so that they can be held accountable for their actions. Again, this is in the 100 block of Ashland Avenue, Rocky Mount.
Right.
Was there something else?
I know what our hot now was that
Yeah.
I was thinking, at our Sunset Park, which is, growing up, Sunset Park was very popular, had the merry-go-round, the train you got on,
the train.
spray park. I mean, just our wonderful little Sunset Park. 5:30 at night. I mean, it's not even night. 5:30, broad daylight. A man is sitting in his car, and the motive, we still don't know from the police department if there was a motive or he was being robbed. That is still not clear from the police department yet. But anyway, the man sitting in the car is the father of a Rocky Mount police officer here. Someone comes up, shoots him in his car, and runs across the road to Chico's parking lot, power plant where we used to be, and he tries to hijack. Now I can only imagine how this lady felt. Hijack a vehicle, with a lady and her child in there. That is that would be the scariest thing. Tried to hijack the car, and it does not tell in the report why he did not get the car, how he did not get the car, but it seems that he did shoot himself and was taken to the hospital. He was still alive, but taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And that's the last I heard of the report on him. And the Rocky Man, and the man was killed in the car. And the police department is doing a little memorial for the officer, because that was his father. Can you just imagine you're sitting in the park? I don't know why he was in the park. I still would like to know why he was sitting at the park.
When I was working, I would, especially like around lunch or supper time, I would go through and get me some food, and I would enjoy my break at a park.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Radio, later in the evening, roll the windows down and eat.
Yeah. So, who knows? But I mean, to just be shot right there, and then he runs across the road, scares this lady to death. But anyway, that is a big hot now that had WITN had it, WREL had it. I mean, it was a big story this week. So anyway, that's another, and our hearts go out to this police officer's, I think the last name was De La Fonte. It was kind of a different last name. But anyway, our hearts go out to your family. So anyway.
You know, when I was at Atlantic Beach, on the way home, I think it was last year, we had a situation where someone come up behind us. I had my 14, 15-year-old son with me at the time, and it was early in the morning. We were headed home, and I had a vehicle come up behind me, blowing the horn, beside me, blowing the horn. Very erratic. We get to a traffic light, and I couldn't go through the light. I couldn't turn. I couldn't escape. And this man gets out of the truck and comes around and starts pulling on the door handle of my son's passenger side. You know, this can happen to anybody at any given time. You know, you need to have a plan as to what you're going to. I had no avenue to escape. And it's bad enough if it was just me, but like this woman, I mean, her child is with her.
Yes.
And it goes back to me being an advocate of, you know, being concealed carry, carrying a weapon, having a weapon with you.
One of the things I talk about, features on a car that have improved, is that most cars now, when you put your car in reverse, it locks the doors. And that is the best thing that ever happened. Because how many people just forgot to lock your door years ago?
Yeah.
When you didn't have this. Just forgot to lock it. Well, we always want to keep our doors locked in the car. We talk about home all the time, but do we really talk about car enough? I have this fear. Even in my driveway, I do this. I have this fear of getting in my vehicle. Well, I don't anymore because my car doors are always locked. But I have this fear of somebody being in the back. I have an SUV, so of somebody being in the back.
My mother would say the same thing.
Oh my gosh, and then they put a gun up to, I can't even think about it. But that is the best feature on a car to me.
This man owes his life to some Jeep engineer somewhere because the only reason he didn't catch a round that morning is because when he pulled on that door handle, it didn't open. If that door had opened, he wouldn't be here today.
Isn't that something?
Over nothing.
Yes.
Over nothing.
Yes.
All I know is he had my son scared to death, and he had me in a situation that I was afraid for my son's safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he attempted to get in our vehicle. And he would have made a fatal mistake that morning by opening that door.
You know, people need to get a life. They
Over
need to
nothing.
get a life. Do something constructive, for God's sake. I mean, we talk about this on the show all the time. I mean, look at the crimes that we talk about. And it's just, and last week, I forgot how many, but it was just bam, 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 all across town.
Look across the country. You have people in the past 24 hours getting beat down in Cincinnati because the color of their skin, nothing more. You have people elected officials in Virginia getting set on fire. It's across the country.
It is.
You know, we're living in some terrible times.
We are.
Terrible times. And again, it goes back to what I was saying about the pet connection. Hold people accountable
Yes.
for their actions. I don't care their political affiliation. I don't care if they're here legally or illegally. Hold them accountable for their actions.
Exactly.
Feed everybody from the same spoon.
I agree. Well, let's take a break a couple of minutes early so that when we come back, we can focus on cases until we go up. We'll bring you some cases right after this.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002, 442-7002.
Some cases for us this morning. These are in our book. These are missing persons, I believe. We're back to the missing persons. So And it's bad. Think about it. It is bad to have someone missing when they haven't been declared deceased.
Yeah.
And every day, you have to wonder, where are they?
That's
Where
right.
are they? So anyway, the number's 406-6736, the hotline number, or Crime Stoppers is 977-1111. So please call, give them a tip, and collect some money from us. Our Teen Cold Case does fundraisers, and we have money in the pot, and we'll be happy to pay you cash money within a couple of days, 48 hours. You will have cash handed to you by law enforcement in a couple of days, and it's anonymous. We don't want to know who you are. We just want the tip. That's what's important, is the tip. And you're our best, and law enforcement's best resource to get these cases, get people off the street and get these cases closed.
All right, the first case we're going to talk about is Roger Wade Askew. Roger Wade Askew. This case is from September 2009. Roger Wade Askew, otherwise known as Kojak, is the brother of Kimberly Hancock, who was charged in the murder of Debbie Deans, who went missing 15 years ago. After a tip to Fighting Crime, Debbie Deans' body was found out behind a residence of Kimberly K. Privet Hancock in a shallow grave among trash and other debris back in October 2019. Hancock was charged with first-degree murder that same day. Hancock was also arrested in 1989 and charged with manslaughter after killing her own father. He was shot in the face while he slept. She spent less than a year in prison for that crime, as she claimed that her father had abused her. There has been much speculation around the disappearance of Roger Wade Askew, otherwise known as Kojak, since Hancock's arrest. Many have stated that Kojak knew about his sister killing Debbie Deans, and she feared he would tell authorities, so she killed Kojak. There has also been speculation that the body is buried under a cement slab somewhere in Franklin or Nash County. There has been no hard evidence of either story. Someone knows what happened to Kojak. The disappearance of Roger Askew is a Franklin County case. Roger Wade Askew.
You know, this is the case where Debbie Deans, this is the case that was on the Oxygen Channel that Jeff Sherrod, Captain Sherrod, talked about. Same case, but this case, which is a Franklin County case, this case is. But this is the same case, and it has not been solved. So.
The next case, Jaleesa Reynolds, we've talked about this several times.
Yes,
and
this case bothers me so bad.
Me too. And I actually think the investigator that comes from time to time from Halifax has actually talked about this one.
Yes.
Jaleesa Reynolds. Jaleesa Reynolds. This case is from February 22nd, 2010. No one has seen or heard from Jaleesa Reynolds since she went to the library in Scotland Neck on February 22nd, 2010.
Welcome.
She logged off of her Facebook account around lunchtime. At 1:40 p.m., she logged in again from a home computer along Cemetery Road. Reynolds didn't have a home computer, and friends say that she would go to the library almost every day to use the internet and check Facebook. Jaleesa was normally shy, but was more outgoing to people that she had met or talked to online. A massive search was conducted, and several other searches have been conducted over the years. Agencies and volunteers from across the state were involved in these searches, and unfortunately, they have turned up empty-handed. Jaleesa Reynolds.
I think this is one of these cases that you worry about your children being on the computer. This little girl looks like a sweet, just her face, she looks like a sweet little girl.
Unsuspecting, innocent,
Yes.
probably trusted everybody.
Yes, and met this person online, and he lured her somewhere,
That's what I think too.
and she's never been found. And I remember the detective. We'll have to ask the detective from Halifax. We hadn't talked to him in a couple of months, but we'll have to ask him some details, see if we can get more details out of this. But they almost know, it's one of those cases that they can't prove it.
Yep.
They almost know who
That he
did
probably had, that he had something to do with it, or probably had something to
it.
do.
Because she was seen,
They know she was in that
They
house.
know she was at
because
that
she
house.
used the computer.
yeah, that's how it was traced. Well,
Yep.
this is just one of those nightmares that we worry about. You know, you better know what you're. But now she wasn't at home. She didn't have access to the internet at home. So that's why she went to the library to do this. So if they go to the library or somewhere, you don't know what they're doing on the computer. So anyway, but don't it look like a library would have a sensor chip type thing on the computer,
Yeah.
or no?
It does, and I would suspect some libraries do, and some probably just they don't.
Right,
But you would think that.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and it's been all over the news. No matter which channel you look at, the Epstein. What's your take on Epstein files with Trump?
Oh my goodness.
What does your gut tell you?
People are saying his name's on there. That's the reason he doesn't want them open. His name's not on there. You want me to tell you why his name's not on there? Because the list was there under Biden.
And were your take,
If Trump's name was on that list,
that
do you
page would
not
have been leaked
think,
before now.
Don't you
I totally
think
agree.
that Biden's administration would have brought that out by now?
I totally
They needed
agree.
everything they could get
Yes.
for his campaign. So, I mean, why would they not have brought it? It makes no sense for his name to be on that list and they not bring it out.
And the pictures that come out with them together, they're probably real. They're probably
Oh, I'm sure,
genuine.
yeah.
You know, the way I look at it is, what if you learned tomorrow god awful bad things about me? Okay, I mean just terrible things about me and my wife.
Right.
Are there pictures of me and you together? Can people come after you and say, well, you and J.P. Barnes, blah, 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 blah. Okay, they exist.
Yeah.
You've been seen with me. There
Yeah.
are pictures floating around of me.
Yeah.
We have eat lunch together in public view at Lillian. I mean,
Yeah.
we've done things. Okay.
Right.
That doesn't mean you were actively engaged and helped me pursue
Exactly.
the mistreatment of other people.
I agree.
Okay.
Totally agree.
But you're going to be hard pressed to find evidence that you were associated or actively engaged in what me and my wife had going on, because there is none. There is no evidence,
Right.
because it doesn't exist. Okay, if his name was on anything incriminating, I'm telling you right now, it would have
It would have
already been
come out.
leaked.
Absolutely. There's no way. And as far as the other people on the list, Trump says, I don't want to release it because it's going to hurt a lot of people who are innocent.
Well,
like you just said.
you've got a federal judge. You've got a federal judge in Manhattan saying, "I'm not going to let you release it."
Yeah.
Okay, so even if Trump said, "I want to release
Yes. He's saying
it," this
no.
judge this judge reiterated a week or two ago, you are not going to release it, and you better not. Now you ask yourself, well, what's the deal with this federal judge? Well, this federal judge is tied in with Comey. He's tied in with Comey's daughter, who was just fired
Right.
because of her handling of the Epstein case. It's just a great big wicked weave. And then Dan Bongino tweeted that what he has learned and uncovered since he's been at the FBI, he will never look at the federal government the same way. And it's almost like a cryptic text. It makes you wonder, what have these people learned? You know, come forward, share it. I want to know. I already know there's a deep state. I already know. I want to know the details.
Yes.
And it's funny to me that once we started going down this road, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, that maybe a previous administration or two was involved in this, the Epstein story came back to the front. And you can go to Fox News or Newsmax, and they want to talk about the Obama administration, Clinton, and Biden orchestrating this stuff. And you go to NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and there's no mention of that story. They're pushing Epstein. It's just... It looks coordinated all over again.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
But anyway, I was just wondering what your take. It was
that's my take. The same as yours.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. We got time for a short one.
Okay. Here's one. Amy Wells Bridgman. This one is from June 24th, 2013. Amy Wells Bridgman, 42, was last seen around 6:30 a.m. on Monday, June 24th, 2013 on Elm Street in South Weldon. Residents of her home told police that she left the residence, leaving her purse behind, and was never seen again. Amy's family has stated that she would not have just disappeared and not contact them. 4 days later, on June 28, 2013, her husband receives a text from Amy's phone. Details of that text have not been published. Amy was not reported missing until June 29th, 2013. How many women do you know that's going to leave home without their pocketbook?
No, they're just not. That's too strange. That is just too strange. It is not. And I would love to know what was in that text. But if you know anything about Amy Wells Bridgman,
June
please, call. Is that?
It's a
Weldon.
Weldon case, so Weldon or Halifax County.
Yes, call the Halifax County Sheriff's Office or the Weldon Police Department, whichever, and please give them a tip. If you know anything, they appreciate all tips. You will not be identified. It is anonymous. All they want is the tip. That's all they want. So this has gone on too long, since 2013. Somebody knows something.
And how many husbands are not going to report their wife missing for 4 days?
Yeah, that's just a little strange to me. That is strange.
You know, if my wife got off work at 5 o'clock and she's not home by 5:30 and I can't get her on the phone,
yes,
it's not going to be too terribly long. I'm going to be on the phone with her family and law enforcement because something's wrong.
Well, you're certainly not going to go 4 days, are you?
Yeah. No.
I mean, by then you've already talked to the police 10 times.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
That's
4 days is just, something's not right there. So anyway, if you know anything about that case, please help us out. We would appreciate it, and you can collect some cash money. So anyway, that's all for the K-Files today. We'll be back next week. We'll have Captain Sherrod with us next week, and the show might just go to the dogs. We don't know. So we might have a dog on here that, with all due respect, I don't want to call him a dog. I want to call him an officer. So we might have a officer friend with 4 legs. So how about that?
Sounds like a wiener.
Make it a great day, everybody. Stay hydrated. Don't forget.
Come see me at the beach.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002, 442-7002.